Welcome. My name is Viktor Gamov, and welcome to Livestreams, a weekly show where I am going live and coding my way through through this week. Usually I'm talking about Kafka, stream processing, microservices, Spring Boot, all things around developing this event-driven applications, event streaming applications, stream processing applications. Also, I'm chatting with you, my people, and answering some of the questions that we have live. And it's great that many of you joined me last week. It was huge success. The thing what we did with Halloween costumes and doing like a microservices workshop, it was incredible, and it was great that many of you joined and like also follow along together with me. Hopefully some of the people who were there last week also will join me today. And as always, once you join this stream, if you're first time or if you're not the first time, just write down in the comments, let me know where you're coming from. And also let me know if you can hear me well, if you can see me well, and things like that. So yeah, let's start with this. Let's start with these questions. All right, Robert, how's it going, my friend? Robert came for the workshop last week and here to stay. It's awesome to have you back. Loic, my friend, thanks so much for joining. All right, David Klein. Dave, thanks so much for being part of Livestreams. Coming here from St. Louis. How is weather there? Is it already super cold? And also, when you join us, let me know what you're drinking. Today, I'm drinking some, I don't know, like some stuff that's full of caffeine. It's called Joko Discipline. Not a sponsor, but just I like the taste. Iced tea lemonade, all natural, pre-workout. Great. 21 people just watching the show. It's great. Hit that like button. For the previous video from the workshop, yes, I promised that I will be talking about the topic of using Kafka as a task queue if this video will hit 200 likes. It's still on, guys. It's still on. We still need to do this. We still need to hit this the 200 likes button. So what are we going to be talking today? Apart from the answering some of the questions, because I don't see any questions so far. Hopefully, people will join and we will talk about some questions. Now, so I was thinking, the previous, forget about the previous week. Previous week was special. Never mind. So the previous week was special. We did this like a big episode. Also, write down in the comments if you like this, if we should do this like more often, like longer streams where like more hands-on content, maybe something that you will be able to learn. I would love to do this more, maybe like once in 2 months, something like that, like a longer stream where like we're doing like hands-on stuff. But anyways, today I will continue to talk about thing that we discussed couple week before. So let's take a look what we were talking about. So in some of the live streams and people who join us for the first time, this is where you can find all these live streams. There is a demo scenes repository. So demo scene repository where we place like our developer advocacy team put all examples there. Things that we were talking about last week. Where is this live streams? I didn't see live streams. All the live streams is here, and it was October 20 where we're talking about live streams. I start talking about this pattern of building materialized view application, but it is I feel that it was not complete if I will be just talking about how to run this locally. So I was thinking, okay, so let's take this a little bit further, since I also start looking in some interesting tools like a Skaffold that I will be talking about today. Let's try to deploy this into a Kubernetes cluster, and this Kubernetes cluster will still be connected to our Kafka cluster. So I will continue to build kind of infrastructure. And the reason for that, apart from this application provides a materialized view, I want to show you how you can also write a distributed version of this application. And I cannot talk about distributed versions of any application if I'm not talking about Kubernetes. So this will allows me, once we will put this infrastructure in place, that allows me quickly scale up and down this application, so I can show you cool things, how to write like interactive queries across multiple instances of the same application. So that's why I would like to start introducing some of the more moving parts. So more moving parts around this application. So for that matter, I just for a new folder, for November 3 folder, I actually created just a copy of this application. So we're going to be working with the same application, but we will be building the Kubernetes version of this application. So I see some of the questions start arriving. Let's see what do we have here. So Sergey from Montreal. Hey, Sergey, welcome. That's great. Robert has a question. In a Kafka stream, is it possible to join stream to a table without key ID? There's a mapping from stream messages to the table record, depends on the message, event time. So this is a multi question. So yes, it's possible. Yes, it's possible to join these streams with arbitrary field. There's something that the streams team was working for a while, and it's there. So without key, I would need to check if your stream needs to be rekeyed. So you need to extract the key from the property. So if you have a stream of events, you can apply the function called select key, and after that have a method that will be extracting this key from any property. So you need to do this. But once you need to join, this is something that I need to look, because it's relatively new and I didn't have a chance to check the example. And the second part of this questions, where's the mapping from the stream messages to the table record, depends on the message event time. So message event time, you can use the custom extractor timestamp extractor, and after that, using this one. I think we do have a Kafka tutorial about this. So let me take a look at this quickly. So if I'm going to here. This is our Kafka tutorials website, and there should be something like, there's first of all where you can find examples of joining streams and table together, and I don't remember. I need to look it up. Which particular tutorial has this kind of capabilities? But this is good. This is good. The question for following up. Thank you so much for asking. Short answer is yes. All right, so Loic is drinking some tea today. That's great. Tea is also awesome. I love tea. I like it. All right. All right, so let's get back to coding. Again, do not hesitate to ask some questions. Just stop me and I will be continue. Now, so remember this application, what we did the last time. Let's take a look on the code. It's been a while. So a couple things available here. So first of all, we do have a materialized view that have a orders topic. Set up project SDK, of course, Java 11. Since we're running this against the local host, some of the things that we need to provision, specifically, we need to have bean that will create a new topic. We want to provision topic as well. What is that? orders. So our orders topic. And so we do new topic builder, or just a topic builder. With name orders. We just put this one here. With number of partitions, let's do 6, good number. Replication factors. Since we're going to be deploying this into Confluent Cloud, replication factor needs to be 3. We can make it configurable, but like let's have it like this for now. So, and the rest of this stuff is good. So that's what we're going to be using. So next step is what Kubernetes cluster I need to use. I could run this locally, but I don't want. Not because I don't like it or whatnot. So first of all, like I'm running a lot of things right now locally, so I don't want to run even local Kubernetes cluster. I would like to run this in GCP. So in GCP, as always, first thing what I do, I go to GCP ping, and see what is closer to me. But I know that it's going to be US East is closest to me usually, so that's why I prefer to use I prefer this one. So what is going on with internet? So looks like my GCP ping is not working today. What is hell? What is going on? Let's see. Maybe something is not right. So maybe it's my live stream, or maybe it is GCP ping is just down. No, let's try it. Let's try to create this one. So let's do gcloud. Where's my gcloud? Okay, so I'm going to create this small cluster that will include this is where I'm going to be running my Kafka Streams application. So I'll create this one in US East. So let's see how it goes live. So next thing is that I was doing some of the previously I was doing some of the talks when I was discussing how we can run the Kafka Streams applications in Kubernetes. Highly inspired by great talk of Matthias and Gwen at the Kafka Summit San Francisco 2018. It was a great talk, and some of the ideas was there. So I'm going to be focusing on the small, simple deployment today. I'm going to be focusing on this simple deployment. So this simple deployment, because there's another option using the stateful set. We're going to be talking about maybe later today if we will have a time, or not. We can talk about this next time. But we will start with this the simple deployment. I will just copy because it's just like too much YAML, right? So hit that like button if you hate YAML. How about that? Let's do file. Let's call it orders service. No, orders app deployment YAML. We will add this. So a couple things that we need to do. We can keep this stuff. About affinity. So for simplicity, let's have this affinity. We will bound the individual app or individual pod with this app into particular particular node for simplicity. So it's not movie ratings. We're gonna be how we can expand selection. I forgot the expand selection, like selection. Oh, Command G. No, Control G. Yeah. It will appear everywhere. So in this case, we're gonna be orders view app. How cool is that? Oh. Now, next thing that I'm not gonna use my own, even though I can. Probably next time I'll show you this, because Docker limiting us with some of the pools information and environment variable. We will see. So image secret. I don't need this for now. Deployment looks good. Now the next thing, I need to build this image. So there's a couple options that how I can build this image. Since I'm using Spring Boot, I can use build image. But today we're gonna be using something else. We're gonna be using a thing called Skaffold. If you are, seeing some of the live streams that I did on my alternative channel, you already seen how we were hacking around with Skaffold. So the Skaffold is a cool tool that simplifies the deployment, like drastically. Simplifies some of the things, how we can deploy and watch our code, and after that redeploy this code automatically to the cluster. We probably will explore this type of stuff. This is pretty awesome. So also we're gonna be using the buildpacks. So we're gonna be using buildpacks with the Spring Boot. That's stuff we're gonna be using. And let's see our nodes. I just deploy the cluster. Let's see if I can do kube toggle. So I would know that I'm running this. So this is Livestreams cluster. I connected to this one. I have 2 nodes there, so it should be good to deploy my Kafka Streams application. After that, scale this out. That's what we're gonna be doing. So next thing, also what we're gonna be doing here. So we need to have a deployment, and another thing that we need to have is a file called orders app secret. YAML. Why we need to have a secret? Because we're going to be storing the connection string to our Confluent Cloud. This is what we're going to be doing. And I do have somewhere a copy of this secret definition that we're gonna be using today. So Spring Boot application properties. And it's gonna be application.properties. So so in this case, I will include this in line. Usually you will have it some other way. In order to get this, again, we go into Confluent Cloud. In Confluent Cloud, I need to go to my account, create a cluster. We're doing this. Confluent Cloud and what the Livestreams. No. I think I need to update. I need to update my 1Password to log in this because something changed. Confluent Cloud and Viktor plus Livestreams. So we'll go create a cluster. We're going to be using basic. Begin configuration. Google Cloud, East. Same in the same location where I do have my Kubernetes cluster, so they will be closer and can communicate closer. So yes, east 1C, 1 single zone, multi-zone, 1. Okay, cool. So in this case, continue, cluster, live streams. While cluster is launching, I need to check some of your questions. Let's take a look. Okay, so Dave confirming that GCP ping is not working for him as well. This means that highly scalable environment is failing. Maybe there is some of the code deployment. So thanks for Dharmesh. Also, thank you so much for confirming this. So it looks like it's not working, but it's good that GCP itself working, right? So external services are good. The bad way they don't work, right? So let's get in back. And again, for create the key with your account as a simple account, we will be using this one. Orders view, orders view, secret. So we're going to be using this. Just do copy, we insert it somewhere here because we're going to be need this, and copy this one because we're going to be need this as well. Yes, I save it. Now in my clients and tooling, I'll do clients and I will go Spring Boot and I just go and copy this one. And this is where I'm going to be including this inline. This is where I'm gonna be using this cluster key. I'm gonna be using my secret here. We're not using scheme register for this one, so that would be it. So we do have a secret. Now we need to have the way how we can mount this secret. So in our application, we need to have a couple things. So we do have a container. We need to have volumes, right? So in this case, we will have a volume named, say, Spring Boot application properties, and value is gonna be can I use a secret here? Yep, I'm gonna be using secret and secret name the same as we have it here. So now we define the volume where we will map this, and next thing we need to define a volume mount for our container. So in this case, I'm going to do volume mount, mount path, say MNT T app, and we're going to be using this this volume to mount here. And then another thing that we need to do here is to specify name. Name is gonna be Spring application config. This is how you do. Oh, I'm not showing. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not showing this one. That's good because I was hiding secret. Okay, so what I was doing here. So I created this secret that will inline application.properties. So and after that, I will mount this secret as on the file system as a file. So in this case, this is what I was doing here. So that's how I mount my secret, and this is where it will be available in my file system. So in this case, I will do in this Spring app, no, not app, config location with value, not like this, doing this value. It's gonna be, so since it's gonna be mnt, and inside this secret we do have this application.properties, so it is gonna be mnt mnt app / application dot. In the future episodes, we will talk about proper DevOps on Kubernetes. Like a friend of mine and my colleague here at Confluent, Rick Spurgeon, working on the cool project called Kafka DevOps, where he's exploring like industry standard tools to deploy application on Kubernetes. So we will talk about some of the things in future. So we'll talk about how to rotate secrets, how to properly use them, like how we can not copy paste stuff. But here I just want to show you some bare minimum where we can do. Now, yeah. So in this case, it looks good. Application configs. When application will start, it will check this location, and after that, it will be able to connect to Confluent Cloud. Now, we would again, still we don't, we didn't build this image. We didn't do anything properly here. We only define deployment. So we need to build this. Where is it? Yeah. Let's even call it Livestreams, because it's Livestreams. Now I need to use the Skaffold to build this and deploy this for me. So let's start exploring Skaffold here. So first of all, I would like to init, and in this case, I need to, let's say, what's help? I need to define the builder. So in this case, it will be Kubernetes manifest path to the, okay, file name, no, compose file, artifacts, no. So let's write this from scratch. Again, the init is failing me second time. So essentially what we need to use, this is what we're going to be doing. Skaffold, build, this is our image, this one, and was going to be using this build pack. So we just do new file scaffold.yaml, adding here, so it's gonna be this stuff. Image is gonna be this one. This is how I'm telling it's gonna be using build pack. And for me, also I need to specify the context for my application. So metadata. Live streams, orders, view app. Another thing that I just mentioned, I don't have it here, but I should have it, is inside the containers. I do want to export ports. So since it's a Spring Boot, it's going to be 8080. So I will be able to hit this. What is that? Where is it? Yeah, this controller. So I will be able to like hit this, get this information. Also, another thing that we're gonna be, let's do this after. Okay, I think I'm in. I'm just checking some comments. I think I'm on ID already, so there should be no problem with that. Now Skaffold, back to Skaffold. Okay, so we're doing this build. Now also I want to have a deploy. And we'll do Kubernetes manifest. Manifests. Couple things. We do have a and we do have a secret. We will move the secret higher here. Now, also I need to specify context. So we would know where to find this, and to find this is going to be orders view. Yeah, okay, let's try to run it. All right, so Kubernetes not found in the type deploy config. Deploy 8. Okay, build. I'm wondering. So let's see. Build. Where's deploy? Come on, guys. Like, you including okay, it's not Kubernetes. Kubectl. Kube control. Guys, write down, and ladies, write down in the comments here how you pronounce kube control. I pronounce it kube control. Other people pronounce it as kubectl. But I personally like to have it here. So couldn't build. Okay, so looks like my Docker is not running. That's a good moment for to get into some questions. All right, so let's see some questions here. Listen to all the podcasts that I did with Google Cloud. Very informative. Thank you so much. Yeah, that was a year ago, or maybe a year and a half ago. Was a pretty cool podcast that I did with Google Cloud. So yeah, that was great. Kubectl. Okay. And any other options that people might have around this? But my personally favorite is kube control, because it's controlling my Kubernetes. That's how I will tell it. Yeah, I think we are sharing the screen right now, so it should be okay. Okay, so let's continue to run this. Now, so what Skaffold will do for me? So first of all, I specified that it will be using this build pack as my builder. There's multiple different builders available. For example, if we talking here, there's a builder available for Dockerfile. I can specify Dockerfile, and Skaffold will use it. I can use Jib. Jib is awesome. We use Jib like extensively in Kafka tutorials website. I like using the buildpacks because Spring already have a lot of things around the buildpacks, and it's like natively supported. So now it's building. So now it discovered that inside my application, it's a Spring Boot application, and there's a build pack for Spring Boot application. Now it builds it, this image, and after that it also publishes this image, and after that it also will execute all the stuff in my Kubernetes cluster in the current context. So let's see. Let's see how this build will execute. Also, let's see on the background. I will show you if we'll do some kube toggle, and I'll do watch pods. We're using default namespace, and I will see when the application will come up here. I will use this to look to this one. Okay, so while it's running the build, let me look for some questions. Okay, so what we see, for some reason, it uses some of my old build because it looks like the base layer is similar, so that's why it uses some of these things. And now, as you can see, it's already pushing this container into this Kubernetes cluster. That's pretty exciting. Now, let's see if I can see some logs. If I'll do get logs, and for the orders. Okay, so it has some error. Let's see why it is error. Let's take a look. What is going on here? Spring application name is not specified. Okay, in my application.properties, some of the things that I forgot to include is this guy, and I also forget to include these people. Okay, so in this case, I'm just copying it here, going into my secret, Kafka producer, Kafka template, and also I including this application.name. So let's run this again. So it will restart this container. Okay, so let's see if it will be continue to creating this one. Oh, terminating. Okay, it's killing it. Okay. 9C, this one. Okay, it looks like it's up and running. Looks like it's getting somewhere. So we can check in Confluent Cloud console if I do have a topics. Orders topics was created. Materialized view. Let's see if we have a messages here. Let's reset this from beginning. Another cool tool that I want to show you today. So, okay, it's up and running here. And in one of these videos that I did a while back, I showed this tool called Octant or Octant. So essentially, it gives very nice UI to any Kubernetes cluster. So it basically reads local host 1, 2. So in this case, I would see this is my application. This is my pod. I should be able to start even port forwarding. So I will be able to go here. We do have this IQ, and what's the order? For 1. Yeah, so it works. The octant allows me to easily provide the access to this pod, and it specifically specifies this specify the. It's just like uses some random port on your environment, so you will be able to hit some of the endpoints inside this application. All right, stop forward. Now let's think. Let's fix a couple things here. So first of all, this like pod name. Let's switch to stateful set first of all. Stateful set allows me to not to have this like weird name, so you always know where we are. Just instead of deployment, let's call it stateful set. Instead of deployment, I will call it stateful set. And some things I need to change. Missing key, add missing key. So we're gonna put this service name here. Interesting, because I never. I don't think I ever used this one with the service name. Why it is service name. Okay, so let's call it how we call it the rest of the stuff, right? We call it the rest of the stuff like this. Also, Skaffold allowed me to clean up all this mess. So if I can do Skaffold delete, it should clean up everything for me. So it deleted the secret, but since I changed that, oh snap. So let's remove. Let's remove this, and we will remove our deployment. In this case, yep, deployment also deleted. Terminating pod, all good. So we're switching to stateful set, service name, orders view app. That should be good. Now, let's talk a little bit about these differences between deployment and stateful set. So deployment is just like, it's just deployment. There's nothing special about this, just a general container will be deployed in Kubernetes. With stateful set, we do have a certain flexibility. And specifically, some things around, around storage. Specifically because our application is using some local storages. We use the RocksDB and we have a bigger state. We need to before that, let's see if we can scale this up. Let's see if we can scale this up first. So let's do Skaffold run before we're going into this one. So it's like it picks up image, so now it should be fairly easy. And now my application has this nice name. So what I can do here, I can do k scale stateful set. Our stateful set, I need to provide the name for this replicas 2 and the name of the stateful set 2. Let's see if I will be able to scale this out. I was able to scale this out, and my application is also up and running. Let's see. We're getting back to Octant. We're getting back to home. We do have a few pods. Stateful set. Let's see. Let's see in the logs. We can see some logs here. So we happened, the process of rebalancing happened, and now, since we have 6 partitions, we will have one instance of application will handle 1, 2, 3 tasks per partition. And another application, if we will go to log, we'll see that it's a 0 application. Let's find a way where everything started. So when the application was running, there was one instance of this application, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there was a 6 task per partition in one instance of application. So since I started new application, it should go somewhere into rebalance. Let's do, can we do search? There should be state change from running to rebalancing. So we do have it here. Okay, so assignment took 16 milliseconds. It was good. State transition from running to rebalancing. So in this case, since new instance of application started, my Kafka Streams application was rebalanced. And now tasks will be executed in 1, 2, 3 tasks. Now, can I scale this more? So can I scale this more? I think I can. Let's try to do, let's start this 2, 3. Will it work? Now, interesting. Now it stays in the pending state. And why is that? In my, but it should not affect my application in any way. So it's in the pending state. And the reason for that is that I defined this affinity, meaning that my pod will be deployed to, where is it? Topology hostname. So essentially, I'm requiring that my pod would be deployed to the same to the one node, and that no other pods can share same node. Since I do have, if I'll do here, get nodes, I just have 2 nodes. In order me to accommodate the third node here, I can do things like gcloud resize. Let's let me find this resize. So I can set the size 3, and watch what happened. Watch what will happen here. So as I want to continue, I'm sorry, live streams, not the. So in this case, since I'm adding more nodes to my Kubernetes cluster, you will see how my application will be able to accommodate the stateful set requirement. So the Kubernetes will be accommodating this instance of application. It should take some time. While it's doing this, I will answer some of the questions. Yeah, we still have this conversation around how to call the kube control, kube katal, maybe. If there is any way to skip offsets, let's say you want to skip some corrupted messages while using the connector or through command center. Yes, you can skip offsets through the command line, I guess. You just you can change this to there's a command that allows you to see this consumer set. You can do this definitely. You can change this in API. You can once you know consumer group, you can change the offset. All right, some people asking, can you share agenda ahead of time? Can I share it ahead of time so we can get familiarized to the framework? For example, Octane, Skaffold. I see a few things need familiarity to better understand or write on live streams. So whole idea of the live streams is to learn together. So if you have some questions about the tool, to ask, and I also will be answering these questions. I don't want to share this agenda because it will create some additional obligations for me. I need to prepare this. So I want to have this still like relaxed. It's not like a formal learning session where you just need to get prepared for something. So for simplicity, let me do this for you. Some of the things if you want to learn more. So I did. I'm sorry. So. I did this. I recorded this video back in when everything just started. I'll just do. We go in here, and there is a autoplay. Turn off. There was the video where I broke down some of the Kubernetes tools for you. So watch it. There is a chapter on Octane, so you can learn about some Octane stuff. It is on my channel. Go find it there, and that's pretty cool. Speaking about the Skaffold again, we did this introduction talk like a few times. We mentioned in the previous streams. We used the Skaffold to deploy some of the apps that we did. All right, so let's see. For partitions, can we provide our own hash based on message key custom value? I don't really understand what does it mean. So since based on the key, your messages will land in particular partition. It would be great if you can have a more context on this question. I not quite understand what does it mean. So let's switch back to my console. Now, since I changed the size of the cluster, now my a number of nodes inside my cluster equals 3. So each node will have its own instance of my Kafka Streams application. And now, if I'm switching to my the console, there should be something. Now, one of the instances of my application now serves 2 partitions. So now they were rebalanced, and now inside my application, I have 3 instances of my Kafka Streams app. Each of them will serve. Let's take a look. Let's take a look on the logs. Each of them serve individual partitions. So now this is baseline. This is baseline on which we're going to be using for next couple streams. So I will we start looking into how to use this application not only as like a stateless service right now, because right now. If I'm trying to get access to some of the data, it depends on what kind of port I will be hitting. So let me show you something. So I do have a start port forwarding. And now, if I'll try to hit this, it was what, IQ1. But if I will try to hit IQ2, I will get nothing. Which means that my instance of this application is not owning this information about the store because it was moved to another application. So now I need to go somewhere here, for example, here, start port forwarding, and let's see, we'll try to discover which application instance is actually owning this data. So IQ2, this instance of application also doesn't have it. So we need to know where this data, start forwarding. I'll do things like IQ2. And now we find the instance that owns this data. So what happens that Kafka Streams, oh, okay, I don't share screen. So what I was showing, so in my application, I do have 3 different pods. And in order for my application to get access to this data, say I'm going to this one, this instance of my instance 0 that serves this. But if I will try to get information for the key 2, this information is not available from this node. So meaning that state store that has this information for particular key owned by different instance of my Kafka Streams application. Kafka Streams application creates an instance of the store per partition, meaning that inside one individual Kafka Streams application, there would be, in our case, we have 6 partitions. We have 3 instances of Kafka Streams applications, and each of them will serve 2 partitions, meaning that our data with key 1 and key 2 will be stored on the different nodes. So that's why I'm trying to discover if it's instance number 2, I don't have any data. But if it's instance number 3, yes, some data is here. So this is tedious. This is not how the things should be done. And for the next time, I will show you how we can share the information about the stores so each individual service can redirect to this data. So we will write a distributed interactive query application for Kafka Streams. So that's what we're going to be doing next for the next week. This is where I would like to introduce, I like to personally, because I wrote the HTTP-based interactive query service back in the day. I'd like to do something else. Maybe I would use RSocket to communicate between my applications and share this state. But let's quickly summarize what we were talking about today. So inside the agenda, first, we were talking about the Kubernetes, right? I'm using this GCP, and I started my small cluster there. So we talk about the Skaffold. Skaffold, building and running apps in Kubernetes. So in this case, we will be using this this guy, and that's what this is what we were using today. Next, I showed you how we can scale Kafka Streams apps on Kubernetes using just the standard commands. We start talking about you know, the state stores, scaling. So that's old news. That's old news. We can go and code and say it's November 3rd. Inside this folder, we can build update the orders app secret.yaml with relevant Confluent Cloud credentials, and to build, we'll do this Skaffold run. So that's what we did today, and we're gonna be talking about some other stuff next time. All right, so let's see if we do have any other questions. Okay, so let's see. Can I read certain body element and create hash to a single partition, like order created, order updated, having order ID, order timestamp? Yes, you definitely can. In like in my application, my application was rather simple in this regard. This application was simply has where's we are. Yeah, this application is rather simple. It has a key one and data equals like something like that. If you would like, we can modify this data for the next stream and look on this ways, how you can use like a JSON thing. But it's right now it's rather simple. You can use whatever data to do your thing. What's the benefit to deploy your own server for Confluent user Docker? So you manage your infrastructure, you are running your Kafka yourself, and you controlling those resources. When you're using managed service, you just using whatever managed service provider gives you. In our case, like how you can scale this and things like that. So yeah, you can there's plenty of benefits and plenty of like negative things. You need to manage your own infrastructure, so things like that. I personally prefer to run everything in Docker because I don't need to, have multiple different versions of this application inside my folders, in my disks, in my the local file system, because just like things becoming like very, very like messy if I need to run multiple versions of Docker. There's a version, I download this, it's a one binary, so it's pretty cool. All right, Timur, thank you so much for being with us today. It's great to have you. If scaling takes place, what happens to existing records that being processed but not committed? So it is a very interesting question. So if we need to know like what exactly happens, because if there was the records that was not processed, it will be discarded once this rebalance will happen. Someone else will reprocess those. So that's if they were not committed, they would be discarded. So that's not a big deal, especially if we have exactly ones enabled in the Kafka Streams application. So there should be no problems. It would be reprocessed by some other instance. Okay, folks, today was great. I think we start laying down some very important background, and especially when I'm talking about using simple tools to deploy and do like complex tasks, like scaling and increasing number of instances of application. And today was like a very foundational talk where I just laid out some interesting things that allows us to move forward in the next streams. So my name is Viktor Gamov. I still developer advocate here at Confluent. I'm still going live every Tuesday on this channel, where I'm talking about things that I think would be important for many of you. Bring your own questions. I have some live streams on some Wednesdays on my personal channel, so stick around on my Twitter, follow me on Twitter, and as always, have a nice day.